Shut up and sit down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Berm. Now today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we're going to be going over my personal rifle. Now I want to start by saying that this is not for everybody. This rifle was built for me. I assembled it over the course of some time. I chose all the parts on it to custom fit it to me, which is personally why I still believe that the AR-15 is one of the best rifles you can get today. It shoots a good round, 5.56, 223, plenty of power for what I need it to do, and they're lightweight, versatile, all-round good rifle. Now, there's so many ARs out there. There's so many parts out there that you can build thousands of rifles and not a single one will be the same. So if you see something you don't like on it, cool. This is what I like. I'm just going to start off. Gun's cleared. Already checked clear the gun. I'm keeping a mag in it just to make it a little bit easier to handle so it can sit up and all that stuff. I'm going to start from front to back. Now up front I have a Strike Industries Venom flash hider. I personally chose a flash hider versus a muzzle brake because A, 5.56, 223 does not kick enough to require a muzzle brake, in my opinion. It's fairly anemic in terms of power, so there was really no need for a massive, loud, and bright muzzle brake. Now, if I ever have to use this in a defensive situation, I would prefer not to be seen than the little bit of aid in muzzle rise, I guess you can say. That's just personal preference. If you shoot 3-gun a lot, you might want to build your rifle with a muzzle brake because it's going to keep you on target a little better. There's no doubt about that, but for my application, a flash hider was the way to go. I definitely like the flash hider. I can do a separate review on that because it has some pros and cons, but I'm not going to go too deep into each part on this. Next up, I have an Inforce WML. This is fairly new on this rifle. I don't have a lot of experience behind it, but so far I like it a lot. It's got multiple features, multiple modes. I'd like to do a video totally separate on this after I get some more rounds downrange on it. But for now, I'm just going to say I really like it. It's pretty sturdy. Definite improvements on the Gen 2, which is here, compared to the Gen 1. So far, great. Next up, I just got a basic set of Magpul backup sights. Nothing crazy. It's a standard flip-up sight. I might upgrade them in the future to some Troys, but these have done perfectly fine. Let's see. I have a little Magpul finger stop, hand stop, whatever you want to call it, and a vertical foregrip. Kind of weird, but the way I like to hold my rifle is you'll see my hand will actually ride right up here, my finger loops around here. I get a nice high C-clamp and really index that rifle. Lets me drive this thing wherever I need it to go. I also have the little rail covers up top so I can place my thumb there. Keeps a little bit of heat away. Different than what a lot of people like, but you know, I really like locking my hand in there and gripping it, pulling this right back into my shoulder nice and tight. Helps me really control muzzle, yet lack a muzzle brake. Next up, I have a Phase 5 LPSN 15 handguard. Now, this is kind of a thing that I have been considering changing. It's, if you can see here, It's fairly thick. There's not a lot of area and room for air to vent around the barrel. This causes it to get pretty hot if you're shooting a lot. You'll notice probably 3, 4, maybe 5 mags in, you'll start to have to use gloves if you're really shooting rapidly with this. Especially seeing as the gas block sits literally right here. It gets pretty hot, and it's very low profile, hugs the barrel pretty close. Aside from the heat, the handguard's awesome. Machining is top notch. The finish on it is top notch. I really like the sling mounts. I like that I don't have rail all the way down the rifle. I really have no need for that, so that saves a little bit of weight. It has rail where you need it. You get a 3.69, obviously a 12 for up top. It's nice. I like it, but I've really been thinking about switching to another manufacturer just to try one out. But so far, works perfect for me. You guys have already seen the SIG Romeo 7 that I have mounted on top. Still running strong. I would expect that to change. Now underneath the handguard, I have a Ballistic Advantage 16-inch mid-length 1-7 twist barrel. I have nothing but good to say about this barrel. It is shot extremely well for me. I mentioned in my red dot video that I have an astigmatism, so precision shots aren't that great, but I have personally laid down some, I'd say right about 1.25 inch groups at 100 yards with this rifle and select ammo. I haven't found any ammo that it doesn't like, which is nice. It constantly groups well. I really can't say anything but great about these Ballistic Advantage barrels, especially for the price. Wrapped around that, I believe it's a Midwest Industries gas block. Honestly, couldn't tell you. I found a nice high quality gas block and bought it. Didn't really do much research into that. Let's see, bolt carrier group. I have no idea what it is. I think it might be out of a Smith & Wesson, but I don't know. Staking's good. It says it's MPI tested, all that. So it's been running like a champ. It's been running for thousands of rounds, no issues. I honestly have no idea what it is, but it runs great. So, works for me. I do plan on getting a Sons of Liberty Gunworks because I firmly believe that company is a very good company and I would like to support them. Yet again, Magpul backup sight, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. They work when you need them. Beyond that, I have a BCM ambidextrous charging handle. Now, this guy, probably one of the better things I have on the rifle. I really like it. You don't really need the ambidextrous abilities, but it's nice to, so you have the rifle up like this, you grab the magwell, and you can reach on the right hand side and lock it back. No problems there. Kinda nice. Just makes manipulating it a little bit easier. Beyond that, Hogue stock. Yet another thing I've been thinking about changing. I think about changing pretty much everything on it because it's always a trial and error. You can do all the research you want into the products, but until you really try them and use them for an extended period of time, you don't know if you're actually going to like it. So they could have, whatever thing you're looking at could have 5-star reviews, and you could end up hating it. As for the stock, I enjoy it. It's nice. I really like its sling mounting points. You got one here, here, and here. You got 3 points on it. Nice, easy adjustability. It's a little loose, not perfect, but it's a good stock. It works. It's a little heavy, but whatever. I've been thinking about moving to a B5 systems to get a little bit more in the cheek area. But that's just personal preference. As of right now, this does the job perfectly fine. As far as the lower goes, it is a Spikes Tactical lower. I have a Spikes Tactical enhanced lower parts kit. So it's got like the nickel boron coated trigger. There's nothing special with the trigger on this gun. Has the ambidextrous fire control. Came with the KNS pins. And I believe it came with this extended, I think this is Seekins magazine release, which worked great. The factory, whatever you want to say, mil-spec works fine too. But this one looks a little cool. It's got a little different texture to it. Kind of nice. Always a nice touch. I will say that I switched out the trigger guard that came with the Spikes kit. The Spikes one was a billet aluminum trigger guard, and honestly, it fit like shit. I did not like the way it fit on the lower receiver. Right here, where the ears are on the receiver, it would actually dig into my middle finger while shooting and manipulating the rifle, and it got really friggin' annoying. So I just switched it out for a Magpul cheapo polymer one, and have had no issues with it. Resolved my issue, so it's not digging into my hand anymore. The trigger group is just a typical nickel boron group. Nothing fancy, full power springs. It ignites every primer I've ever put through it, which is what I want. This gun needs to be reliable. That's the whole purpose of this particular rifle. I got a Magpul, I believe this is the MOE Plus grip. Works fine. Got a nice texture to it. Got a nice little spot. I think I got a spare battery for the SIG in here, and it's actually, I wrapped the battery in a tourniquet, so I have a tourniquet sitting inside the grip, one of the SWAT tees. As far as buffer tube goes, yet again that Spikes Tactical with a Spikes T2 buffer. I believe, pop it open real quick. Yep, Spikes with T2. I don't know if you guys can see that, pretty shitty lighting, but it's in there. It's been working good, have no issues with it. Definitely noticed that their buffer tube kit compared to, like, say, lower end Anderson or something like that, does not give that sproing noise. A lot of cheap buffer tubes and spring kits, as the rifle cycles, will be like sproing, and you can just hear it resonate inside your ear and resonate inside the buffer tube. This does not do that. This has a dry film lube on both the spring and the tube itself, and it noticeably quieted it down. Pretty sweet. Definitely like that. Other than that, that's about it. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything on it. It's fairly purpose built for me. It's meant to fit me where everything is. Like, I just reach in there. This is exactly what I want up front. In the business end, this is precisely what I want. I really don't think I'm going to be changing anything up front on this. Out back I might change a few parts here and there, maybe a different stock. Still up in the air about the rail. The Phase 5 is very good quality. It is very nice. It just gets really hot, and that kind of gets a little annoying. But, you know, can't say anything bad about that. Other than that, guys, that's... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention sling. I don't know what it is. It's lasted 2 years so far. It's got a little bungee to it. I like to run my sling close to the receiver on both ends as possible. It kind of makes the sling itself more versatile overall. It still gives me the ability to go from left-handed to right-handed, no problems, and gives me the ability to throw the rifle down and run with the rifle or transition to pistol very easily, like a 2-point sling should. So I feel like running the sling points in these locations allow you to really get the best of both worlds out of a 2-point sling. I'll probably end up moving the rear sling point to the end plate on the receiver if I do change stocks, but for now this works fine. Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning into another episode here. If you have any comments, criticisms, if you have any more questions, feel free to put them down in the comment section. Thanks, guys.